Hello and welcome back to Formula 1 2014, and this time we are in glorious 60 FPS. We have a new graphics card, so we have a hell of a ton more power, and today we are going to finish off the 7 extra tracks mod by doing a race at Jerez. I shall be in the Mercedes and I shall start at the back of the field again, because that was more interesting. However, I do not know Jerez at all, which will be quite interesting, because I haven't driven here really ever, not on anything. So this will be quite interesting. It'll be very poor driving, but at least it'll be in a smoothie, silky 60 FPS. So let's get to it. So here we are on the grid, and this time I can record in real time rather than the replay, because the new graphics card is so much more powerful. Just for reference, it is an NVIDIA 970, and we get a very poor start, as per normal. So I'll slot in behind Ericsson and probably dive up his inside into turn 1. I don't know where I'm going, because I don't know Jerez, but we do not want damage. That is the main thing, because of course we have the realistic damage mod as well. And the cars are going very slow here, very slow indeed. As we fly past one Lotus, 2 Lotus, and into plumes of smoke, or dust. And there is debris left side, and a very slow button right now. So I can only presume the damage is from that, although Subtle is moving very slowly, and I heard a crash behind. And the cars are just all over the place right now, so we get past Vern on the brakes. And there's a bit of a traffic jam, although we get past Button as well, because he was left out hung to dry on the wide line. We have a flying line through there, get past Magnussen, and now we've got the other Toro Rosso Fiat, and we also dive up his inside, and maybe even Perez's. We're just flying past people, although Perez just keeps it around the outside, and we're side by side with Perez with a right-hander next, looking at the map. Because I really don't know where I'm going, although that was a good line in comparison to the AI. Although we have to smash the brakes on, because they're just going very slow as the car dives into the pits, and Alonso, he wanted to turn in on us, but he in the end did not. So we are into 7th place after the first lap, which is an alright start, although looking at the map, the leaders have pulled miles away, which doesn't really bode well for me, because I need to follow people, because I don't know where I'm going, really. As we dive up the inside of Hulkenberg. Yeah, so we've only got Raikkonen, and then we've got a massive gap, and I don't know where I'm going. So this will be interesting, as the car is all over the place at the moment. And we have a gap to Alonso, and we lock up. I do actually remember that one corner, because you think it's a flat-out left-hander, and it would be, until you realise there's a right-hander very soon, as we've been tagged behind by Magnussen, and the Force India of Hulkenberg has disappeared, so I presume he has damage or whatever, as we actually go around the outside of the Toro Rosso there. So we need to really catch up to Alonso, and Raikkonen is probably pulling away a bit. But as I said, I haven't driven here ever, really. I didn't drive here on F1 2013, the original classic content. We're on the grass for some reason. But of course, this is the place for F1 testing. I think, is this the first pre-season test at Jerez? I can't remember, but I know one of them is always at Jerez. So it is a often used circuit for F1, and it used to be, as we go off, it used to be actually one of the circuits that we raced at, although that was a while ago now. So we really need to catch up to Alonso. We have a 10-second gap behind us, because I presume Vern got... Well, no, Kvyat had damage, presumably, and Magnussen. But without anyone to follow, it's very hard to find the right lines here. So here's the devious left-hander, which you'd think would be flat out, but it isn't actually, because of the right-hander very shortly after it. And then we have a bit of a hairpin here. I guess it's a hairpin. It's not quite 180 degrees, but close enough. Flat-out left-hander. Not another flat-out left-hander. There's a bit of a break, I think. Yeah, a bit of a break, and we are just all over the place. But we are green, which is good. That means we're going faster than we did last lap. Well, our best lap, I think. This is definitely a flat-out right-hander. And this one too. And our teammate is much, much faster than us, of course, because he knows at least where he's going, because he's on rails. But there is a car on the mini-map off the track with a blue flag, which is weird. That lap was 6 seconds slower than Rosberg. 6. Oh dear. But I mean, we're not being caught up too drastically from behind, so... Actually, we are. Werner's closed 3 seconds in that lap. So the car to our left is there. There is a McLaren of Button. Don't know why he's there, and why he's not retired. But he's just sat there. And we are just shockingly all over the place. Which is a problem, but as I said, I don't know Jerez at all. And it's, yeah. I don't think the modern cars particularly suit this circuit, really. It doesn't feel that nice and flowing. Other than, I think the final sector feels quite nice. This final sector. But that's mainly because there's quite fast corners here. Well, totally flat out right-handers. And Vern is closing down on us at a vast rate of knots. I think we should be able to hold off before he can really catch us, because we've only got 1 lap left. But oh, and we are hitting the curb quite hard, losing the rear. Yeah, quite far behind. We should be safe. Unless we make a huge mistake, which is not entirely out of the question, as we lose the rear end going over the crest. And like this first sector, it just feels too slow, and oh my god, the oversteer is just insane. Yeah, it just feels too slow for these modern cars. They just don't like it. Well, I don't like driving these cars here at the moment in the first sector as we hit the curb and we get a big slide on. And it's the change of direction as well. You need a lot of you need nippy steering to get through some of these corners, and Vern is very close to the back of us. Oh dear. Although perhaps he could lead us to the finish. So Rosberg has won the race, miles ahead of us, which was to be expected as we're on the grass and we get oversteer, and oh dear. But we should be fine as long as, I keep saying, we don't totally mess up. So we get oversteer there, and Vern is right behind us. We should be safe, but I keep saying this, and it doesn't mean I am safe, although we had a good run through there, hitting every apex and running right to the curb quite perfectly for once. And we just totally botch up that final corner, but across the line we will go in 7th place, 6 cars retired. Hamilton is not displeased nor really exuberantly happy. He's quite static. He's 7th place isn't a great result, but we did start in 20 seconds, so we gained 15 positions. Our fastest lap is diabolical. That is awful. Only the cars that retired very early on did not do fastest laps, although Button did not do a faster lap. And we almost had a faster lap than Romain Grosjean, which is, you know, awful. Although the finish there, with 4 cars in the space of almost a second, and 2 of them in the space of 0.03 seconds, which is extremely close, the 2 Frenchmen. So yeah, that was a poor race, but what can you do when you don't know the track? And there's no real reason to learn it. There's no major series that I participate and follow that actually go there anymore. So that was a 5 lap at Jerez. I think I may be putting up some more videos of stuff. Now I have a more powerful graphics card, and I will actually be able to play some games a bit more properly, because the old one couldn't really run F1 2014 at a decent enough frame rate for me to actually record and play at the same time. So that's why I was recording the replays, because the frame rate was not consistent enough, which was a shame. But now we have a more powerful one, so we can record and be pretty ignorant, to be honest, because we can just whack all the settings up to high and start playing and record straight away. So that was a 5-lap race at Jerez. Next time I think we may start a career. I don't know, we might do something else, we'll see. But anyway, so I'll see you next time.